Hello and welcome to the Roots and Riches podcast, where we dig deep into the earth beneath our feet. I am your host, your brother and your friend, Brother Thomas. So glad to be here with you today, guys. We are broadcasting live right here in the great state of Mississippi. Yes, right here in Jackson, Mississippi, the city with soul. Guys, we'd like to welcome you to this week's topic of soil types and classifications. If we do a little recap, last week we did a brief introduction to soil, and we talked about just how vital and how necessary, how essential soil is to our everyday lives. I gave the example of just the very eating breakfast in the morning. The bacon, the eggs, the grits. Without soil, guys, it wouldn't have been possible. Soil was required to bring all of those things to your table. I even gave the example about the clothes that you put on your back. I mean, the cotton, the linen, the silk, for crying out loud. All of those things, soil was required so that you could have a shirt on your back. My goodness, soil must be pretty important. So, guys, this week we're going to be talking about soil types, and we're going to classify soil, and we're just going to explore soil a little more. We open up with a definition of soil. This says that the soil is the top layer of Earth's surface where plants grow, and the soil is composed of organic matter, minerals, and countless organisms. Guys, we mentioned already about the importance of soil, that it's vital for our agriculture, water filtration, and also to support our ecosystems. Man, soil is pretty important. We move along talking about soil formation. There's a process, guys, that occurs for soil. This process occurs when rocks are weathered, the weathering of rocks, the decomposition of organic matter, and interaction with water and air. I don't know if you've ever been to the beach, when you see that water that rocks up against those rocks, that pushes up against those rocks, it breaks that stuff down. And that's one of the ways that we come up with the dirt that we have. Man, this soil, really, really, really important. Some of the things that affect the soil formation is the climate, parent material, topography, organisms, and most of all, time. Guys, it takes time. All right. There's here that says about the major soil types. We have here clay soil. Clay soil is small. It's small in size. It has high plasticity, but it has poor drainage. It says that it retains nutrients well, but it can become waterlogged. I don't know if you ever got stuck in your car or in your truck, in your vehicle. When you get down into that clay, I don't know if you ever heard about that Yazoo clay. If you get stuck in that clay, it makes it difficult to get out when you get waterlogged. Talked about that clay. There's another type of soil that we have, the sandy soil. Its characteristics are large in size. It says that it has good drainage, but it's low in nutrient retention, though. So that sandy soil is not going to really retain the nutrients as some of the other soil types. The good thing about sandy soil is that it drains quickly. We have that sandy soil. If you've ever been riding down the highway or riding down the road, and you see that they have the sand in the ditches, it helps the water to drain. So that's one of the good things about that sandy soil, is that it drains quickly. Here's another type of soil, silty soil. Some of its characteristics says that it's smooth in texture, that it retains moisture well, and that it's fertile. Man, if so far this silty soil is probably my choice. It's great for crops. It's great for crops. It retains those nutrients, and it has the composition of the minerals and the things that are essential for crops to grow. That's that silty soil. Thank God for silty soil. Then we move along to a loamy soil. Its characteristic says that it's balanced and it's a balanced mixture of sand, silt, and clay. Okay, so it's a balanced mixture. Okay, that's good. Anything that's balanced, I guess it's going to be pretty good, huh? A balanced mixture. It says that it's ideal for most plants as well. So we talked about that silty soil that was good for crops. This loamy soil is also good and ideal for most plants. And as I said, it retains the moisture really well. Guys, listen, we're going to move into a commercial break and we'll continue to explore more types of soil. We've got a few more to go through soil types. Guys, thank you for tuning in with us here to the Roots and Riches podcast. We're going to take a short commercial break and we'll be right back. Stick with us.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee.
To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
All right, and welcome back to the Roots and Riches podcast. Before our break, we were talking about different types of soil and some of the pros and cons and some of the characteristics that these different types of soils have. And we've got a couple more that I wanted to cover with you. There's a soil that's characterized called peaty soil. This says that it's dark and rich in organic material, and that it has a high moisture retention. And that's got to be good. If it's rich in organic material and it has that high moisture, that's got to be good for the plants, huh? It says that here that it's good for certain crops, but it may be too acidic. You know, there are some plants who can't stand the acidity of this peaty soil. However, that high moisture and that rich organic material has to be good for a lot of plants. Last but certainly not least, we have saline soil. And this characteristic says that it has high salt content and it's often found in arid regions. It says that it can hinder plant growth, but some plants thrive in these conditions. So just as anything else, guys, when you have different types of in these types of soil, they have various effects on plants. They have different effects. Some good and some not so good. But all in all, guys, soil is, in fact, a very vital part of our lives. So we are so grateful for the soil that's beneath our feet. This study moved on to talk about soil properties. It talked about the physical properties of soil. It talks about the texture when we touch it. It talks about the structure. And it also talks about the permeability. It talks about how it permeates. It gave us talked about our chemical properties, the pH and the nutrient content. It talks about the organic matter. Talked about biological properties, the microbial activity, and talked about earthworm presence. There's just a lot of things that are involved in this soil. So, guys, in conclusion, this talks about the summary key points of soil. We've talked about already the fact that soil is so very vital to our everyday lives. We've talked about how it affects our food, how it affects our clothes, how it affects a lot of the everyday things that we use on an everyday basis. So as you can see, guys, soil is very, very important. It's very vital. It's essential to our everyday lives. God, we thank you so much for tuning in with us today to our podcast. This has been Roots and Riches Podcast, and we are telling the soil story. Guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in again. This is your brother, your host, and your friend, Brother Thomas. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys for tuning in.